Here's another video. I've made them before in the past, pointing out, and this is what we got to pay attention to. If you see any type of damage on your building, then there is a good chance that something is the cause or something is responsible for that particular damage. And in order to fix it, you don't just scrape the paint off and paint over this stuff. And again, I can't tell you how many times I've witnessed someone do that. Hey, we're just gonna, it looks like the paint peeled off, let's just repaint it, when that's not the problem. It's something else. And this is the reason why I'm making the video. We've got to find what the original problem is. What is actually causing the paint to peel? And to me, this practically reeks moisture. Moisture coming from somewhere. And as a property owner, it would be your job to figure out where in the heck this moisture is coming from. However, I've got a heads up because I'm making the video. This should provide you with your first clue that there is a problem with the roofing. Maybe the roofing needs to be repaired or replaced. And I actually looked at this roof and it didn't look too bad, but obviously it's bad enough. Here's a larger hole. And of course the larger hole should provide you with even more evidence that the roofing could be the culprit. So in a case like this, you already got a hole in the roof. You can either repair these holes and try and repair the areas where you're seeing more damage, paint flaking off, or even more wood rot. So in this case right here, this would be the first clue that, hey, you know what, the roof might need to be replaced. Then replace the roof. I don't know if I would repair something like this unless I only had damage in one area. You know, if I had damage all over the place in a particular roof, then I would probably just redo the whole roof. And of course, this is the other problem most do-it-yourselfers run into, is the fact that they don't do it correctly. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to either hire a professional or find out exactly how to install the roofing correctly. Next up on the list, I'd like to point this out. This is critical. I don't know how many times in a situation like this, someone will repair all the damage and then replace the roofing. And then a few years later, they end up with the same problem. And then they automatically assume that it wasn't the roofing, that it must be something else, when in fact the problem still is the roofing, and it is the fact that the roofing was not installed correctly. So we cannot make assumptions about reoccurring problems after we have repaired something. We can't rule that particular thing out and think that it is not the problem anymore. Like in this case right here, that the roofing could not be the problem, when in fact it actually could be. So I just wanted to point that out. That's a big problem amongst construction workers, and it's even a bigger problem amongst do-it-yourselfers. So be aware of that when you're making repairs like these.